How much do you talk to your friends about hot flashes, night sweats, or any menopause symptoms? Do you think there's enough conversation generally around menopause? And are you embarrassed to have open conversations with those friends and even your doctor? Did you ever think of clothing as a natural solution for hot flashes? This snippet of a video from my podcast episode with Laura Mussal, whose friendships and candid talk about menopause helped her, along with her partner, Mindy Ford, create a size-inclusive PJ company that addressed this common symptom of hot flashes and night sweats. That none of these videos are medical advice, they're for information and education only and to spark a conversation. Any symptom that you have should always be checked out with your licensed care practitioner. The whole conversation is on the Fullness podcast. We just wanted you to know that you're not alone and you don't have to be embarrassed to talk about this natural thing. So get in some PJs and let's meet Laura.
Thank you so much for inviting me to come in and talk about being hot and menopause and trying to be cool. In 2018, I started having night sweats and did not really understand what was going on and started talking to my friends about it. That is where the impetus came for developing a PJ company. As I talked to friends, I found out I was not the only one having night sweats and not sleeping through the night.
According to sleepfoundation.org, up to 80% of women have hot flashes, which are vasomotor menopausal symptoms. These hot flashes and night sweats disrupt our sleep and our quality of life. And I'm sure you'd agree.
I do not think there is enough conversation about it. The thing that really troubles me is that women feel embarrassed to talk about it. And a lot of people just feel like they're going through this alone. And it's just this natural part of aging. When you're pregnant and you go to the doctor, they used to give you a book called What to Expect When You're Expecting. And I kept thinking, where is my book? I want that book. We do talk a lot about and think a lot about what we are putting in our bodies. You've got to think about what you're putting on your body. There are fabrics like polyester that the synthetic fabrics, they actually hold in heat. You have got to use a fabric that is breathable.
What a sleep disruptor. How much rest are you actually getting when you're like that every night?
A lot of women talk about brain fog, and I've got to wonder how much of brain fog is really menopause versus how much of brain fog comes from lack of sleep.
We can talk about brain fog in terms of the estrogen, progesterone changes in the body, the hormonal changes. But what about that sleep? That actually contributes to body shape too, because your blood sugar's messed up. If you have sleep issues, it's a stressor on the body, and stress can increase blood sugar. This phase of life is very stressful and busy. So when your sleep is interrupted like that, not only are you going to feel foggy, but your hormones.
Our first group we said, you know what, come over for snacks, drinks, bring your favorite pair of pajamas. We just wanted to see, what do women wear to bed? What was super eye-opening was the women who were wearing old oversized t-shirts to bed. And I wanted to say, ladies, you deserve better, because I think there's a correlation between what you're wearing and how you feel. And this phase of life, you're going through a transition with your hormones and everything. If you are wearing something you don't feel good in, it's not going to help. That was very top of mind for Mindy and I when we were designing the pajamas, that if you looked in the mirror, you would feel confident in what you were wearing, not just comfortable. What we've discovered is that women wear these pajamas all as day wear too. I wear a t-shirt, a pajama t-shirt basically every day.
Is that what you have on right now?
Yeah. I think that marketers forget about us. They market to young women. Just looking at clothing in general, they're made for thin young women. Tight-fitting clothing is not your friend when you're having hot flashes and night sweats. I mean, my experience and a lot of friends I've found is that you gain weight around the middle. Your body shape changes. I'm totally irritated with the fashion industry and how they treat women who are larger. And it's difficult to find clothing.
You can't find something that isn't for the 25-year-olds. It perpetuates these thoughts that, oh, maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe I need to go on a diet to fit into a pair of PJs. And that drives me bonkers, how the talk around aging is about getting back to your weight when you were 30.
You hit the nail on the head there.
And I noticed on your website, you had a comment about, we didn't want to make your grandma's PJs.
But my grandma, her PJs, no, I did not. That is not for me. Women don't want to be reminded that they're getting older all the time.
Yes. And we are reminded subliminally, whether it's a magazine or social media, we are reminded subliminally. I always remember an Oprah magazine spread about embracing your gray hair, and the ladies that they put on there were all models. You could tell they were models. I would never have beautiful, straight, blunt hair in a gray style that had lots of it and looked like it never had a wrinkle or a coarse curly.
The models, I'm glad you brought that up, because initially, frankly, we had no money to hire models. So we used our friends. But then what we discovered was, you know what? We just want to use real women. One model that we used, she was a new realtor in my office. And I said to the receptionist, who is that woman over there? I just out of the blue emailed her and said, hey, this is going to sound crazy, but would you model pajamas for me? And in the fashion industry, when we first started, the fashion expert said, oh, okay, here's what you do. You're going to hire a fit model, and a fit model is a size 2. And you're going to hire your fit model, and then your fit model will determine how you do all your sizing. And I thought, Mindy and I just looked at each other and we were like, no, we are not doing that. 67% of women are a size 14 or higher. Why would we size it based on a size 2 when a tiny percentage of the population actually wears a size 2? Why wouldn't we start in the middle? So that's what we did. We found someone who was like a size 12. I think she was a size 12, but very much a typical 50-something-year-old body. And we measured everything with her. And the fashion industry expert said, you don't need to make a sample of every size. No, that's not how we're going to do this. We are going to make a sample of every size, and we're going to bring women together of all different kinds of sizes. And we're going to have a fit party, and we're going to have them try it on and tell us what they like and what they don't like. That's how we're going to do this.
You're saying you hired an expert in the fashion industry to help you with the sizing. So this really means that the general consensus, no matter who we're marketing to, is to get a fit model and start with a size 2.
That's what we were told the industry does. We're getting ready to expand our sizes. The pattern makers have a formula where they're like, okay, if you want to go from a 3X to a 4X or whatever, if you want to go from these, you just add inches. And Mindy and I, again, look at each other and we're like, wait a minute. You don't just add inches, because a 4X probably doesn't need the same inches up here as they do down here. So why would we do that? Why wouldn't we just get real 4X size women and have them help us, just like we did for every other size? I mean, nothing makes you feel worse than to go shopping and can't find anything that fits right. And now I understand why I've struggled my whole life not finding something that fits right. They just use calculations.
Fast fashion obviously is just on this inch formula. I find there's certain types of clothes that I might pay a little bit more for. When you put them on, you're going to love it. You're going to wear it. You might actually have it in your closet. I have things for fit me on and off for 10 years.
And if you feel good in them,
yes,
you have a better day. I don't care. Anyone knows if you're wearing a pair of pants that don't fit right, and the only thing you can think of is how quickly can I get home to take these off? You're wearing a bra that doesn't fit right, and you're like, I just cannot wait until the minute I can get home and take this off. When I immediately felt the product, it felt cooling. I loved how it was moisture wicking and natural fibers. That the owner of it goes to the factories in Asia regularly to see how things are made, to see how employees are treated, to see what sustainability practices they have. Their plants are solar panels, so they use less energy because their energy is coming from solar. We wanted somewhere where employees were treated fairly. We did not want to go somewhere that it was a sweatshop. Yes, there are applications that are put on products.
To finish off, I asked Laura what else she wanted women to know about this time of life.
But I want women to be more empowered about talking to their doctor and not letting their doctor or health provider brush them off or just try to put them on Prozac. I'm not saying people don't need an antidepressant. I want women to feel empowered to say, you know what, I need something more. And if they're not getting it from who they're seeing, they need to find someone else.
Yes, I like that you said that. I'm all about the whole risk benefit when it comes to medication. Can be a godsend to people. We can't negate that. But if someone wants to explore the deeper reason, that should be available to them.
I don't want women to feel like if they're at a business meeting and they start sweating, that they should be embarrassed. People go to a meeting and they have a broken arm and in a cast, and that's a medical thing, and they're not embarrassed. I mean, remember the time where women newscasters, if they were pregnant, they couldn't go on air anymore. We've gone beyond that, and now I want to see us go beyond the fact that if a woman has is having a hot flash, that it's not some big embarrassing moment.
I love that you brought that up because there is just so much shame wrapped up in aging as a woman more than men. Where can people find your product? Tell us your website name.
It's coolrevolutionpjs.com, and we do ship to Canada. And we love women to tell us if they don't see something they want. We want them to tell us what they do want.
I hope this helps you feel a little less embarrassed about having hot flashes, sweating any time of the day, and that you look for solutions that might be simple, wearable, and comfortable. Until next time.